Hello, sir. How are you?
I am good. I'm good.
That's fine.
You know, just sitting on the sidelines watching America implode.
That's some
stupidity.
It's difficult to see that. I think.
I know Mexico's going through a lot of changes as well.
Yes, actually, we have been. We are going through some kind of changes here, and it's very. I don't know. I don't know how to expect from the situation that it's forthcoming, because a lot of people is very they just don't have they don't have any idea about what's going on here.
I believe that.
And it's very difficult to see friends and people that you care, that they don't know anything. And when you try to share some kind of information regarding all of this, it's very hard to accept that they don't even bother or care about that. They just don't care, and it's very hard. But well, I think that the people will go through this, and finally I think that a lot of people will think and will see the reality of this, of what is going on here. Perhaps some people just don't care, and another, I think that they are waking up, but it's very hard for them, because for a long time they have been very slept. So it's hard, but
very asleep.
Yes, sleep. But I mean, when I say sleep, is that they don't have any idea about what's going on here.
Well, no. And you know, you have to remember that people's vision of things, you know, I think on Earth, we have been trained to keep our focus narrow. And because our focus has been narrow, we've been easier to control and manipulate.
Yes, I know.
And that's been conditioning, especially for people who live around the world in small towns and the such. They tend to be very, very focused and narrowed on just their small communities, or just their families, or their lives, or their jobs. And other things outside of that, unless it's forced on them, just simply do not reach their periphery, and they don't connect to it. But, you know, all of that is changing as we move closer to the galactic plane, because many things that we haven't been focusing on that are important to the creation of our reality, you know, creating this reality and our reality as a collective, is coming more and more into focus as all of the, you'll pardon my expression, bullshit completely falls away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the stuff that isn't real.
Yes.
And what's happening is that we're all having to look at our lives and say, oh my God, you know, I've been focusing on a lot of this stuff, and it means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. And a lot of that is going to be very hard for people, because they've invested so much time, so many years, so many tears in something that wasn't real.
Mm-hmm.
And because people have a vested interest in it, it's going to be difficult for them to just let it go. But, you know, ultimately they will have to, because it no longer serves them.
Yes.
So, you know, it's just not about life. It's about politics. It's about health. You know, just about everything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I can see that. I think that there's a lot of people out there that are in the same place but not all the people, I think, accept that, and some people are just stuck in that position that don't believe anything that we are trying to telling them. And actually, I think that everything is a process, and I think this is about a decision of oneself to believe or not, and to do something or do anything. And I don't know. It's like you said. Sometime it's very interesting time that we are going through right now.
Right. Oh yeah, and then they're going to get more and more interesting this next year. So, just the knowledge about what's really been going on begins to sink in with everybody, and it'll sink in. I mean, people are getting it, whether they're consciously aware of it or not. The consciousness is shifting. People will also know about the reality of extraterrestrials by the end of next year. Probably, for sure, in 2011, it'll be plainly obvious that we are not alone to everyone, and that will dramatically shift consciousness as well. And because it'll be in everybody's face.
Okay. Does it?
And people all over the world are waking up to the control and manipulation of governments and how much everybody's been lied to. And they're beginning to take a stand. And there are going to be some pretty remarkable, exciting times, as well as some potentially chaotic moments, until people really start to, go within themselves and say, hey, what do I really want?
Yes.
And then that's ultimately the question here, because, they have become, the rulers have become masters at distracting us and making us focus on other stuff other than our own personal development.
Yes.
And, people are wising up to that.
When you say that for the next year that people around the world will know about we are not alone in this universe, does it has something to be with the Disclosure Project, or it's
have something to do with what?
Disclosure Project?
Well, that's happening. That is happening on one level, but there are multiple layers of occurrences and things that are happening, not only on a consciousness level, but also a spiritual level, and the physical level. So it's beginning to permeate, because ultimately we as a race, and I'm talking about all of us on the planet, as a race, have to make some decisions. And it isn't going to be just, a few percentage of us doing that. This, the reality that's been created, which we support, is falling apart because it only serves the few. And I keep going back to one of those things that was said in a Star Trek movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Spock who said it to Captain Kirk. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Yeah.
And, that's an incredibly wise perspective, and that is extremely relevant to what's going on today.
Yes.
The needs of the many do outweigh the needs of the few. And, the few have had control, and here we are. It's crumbling because it's become so corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
And it needs to crumble. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be painful. But it needs to collapse so that something else can be, something that's more fair, more uniform, more in line with, the needs of everyone,
Yeah.
For example, it's rumored that the Rothschilds of France and England and Germany are worth $500 trillion. Let's say it was half of that. It was only $250 trillion. Carlos, they couldn't possibly spend the money.
No.
There's nothing that they could spend it on to buy. So why not just free everyone's debt and let us start over?
Yes.
Why not do something like that? Or donate all the money to curing cancer and hunger, or creating free energy, something that would help everyone. And it's a testament that they do nothing like that, even though they can't possibly spend the money on anything, to not want to do it. So that's a testament that they're upside down. It's not us, it's them.
Yeah.
They have to go and hoard that kind of wealth and continue to want to hoard it and have absolutely nothing to spend it on.
Yes.
That would be in some places, in some psychologist's office called a psychosis.
Yeah.
So it's nuts. It's just nuts. So anyway, I do have the list of questions. Are you recording this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, yes.
I do have your list of questions here that you sent Audra.
Uh-huh.
And we will go down through all of them. The only question I am not going to touch specifically is number 4.
Number 4. Okay, let me check.
And I'll kind of tell you why, and let's just address it up front. And, that was, regarding Jesus Cristo.
Okay.
Okay? I think I said that right in Spanish.
Yeah, I know. It talk.
And well, but let me just share this with you why.
Okay.
Okay. I was born and raised a Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what the A's have told me about this, saying that the biblical Jesus is a composite character. Mm-hmm. And I absolutely have no problem with that. Okay? With that being a biblical character. A composite character. Because if you know the history of the Roman Catholic Church, it is anything but benevolent and stellar.
Yeah.
Okay? And frankly, I think after the Inquisition, all of their credibility should have been gone.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason I don't necessarily want to address it specifically is because I myself have some confusion on the subject.
Okay.
And the reason that I have some confusion is the painting of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? No one can figure out how it was made. You know that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And there's no problem.
Okay.
It's fine.
And also there's the Shroud of Turin.
Mm-hmm.
I have the enormous amount of questions regarding the Shroud of Turin.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. And also, for 1,500 years, the story of the Knights of the Templar and the Holy Grail,
Mm-hmm.
And Jesus being married and having offspring, I myself don't have any trouble with that story.
Okay.
Although I have been given pieces to it that are far different than what the church has been trying to sell everybody. But again, I don't necessarily trust the Catholic Church. To me, it's a government.
Yeah, it's a kind of.
It is. It operates a little bit differently, but it essentially does the same things.
Mm-hmm.
So I have some questions about it.
Okay.
And maybe, we can go in a little bit deeper on that later, but but if you're ready, we can just start going through some of the questions, okay?
Yeah, sure. That's good.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll just go in order. So number 1, do you want me to reread the question?
Yeah. Do I read it or?
Well, I'll read it.
Okay.
Nowadays, there's been a lot of confusion regarding the extraterrestrial activities due to several misinformations of this kind of stuff. Some people say that the Anunnakis are evil entities, and others say that they are some kind of benevolent teachers, as we can see on different ancient mythologies around the world, such as Mayans, Egyptians, Hindus, and others that talk about higher spiritual entities who teached them to grow technologically and develop a knowledge even more advanced than a lot of current scientific theories and methods. Do the Andromedans tell something to you regarding the Anunnakis? My response to that question is yes, and we'll discuss it. Now, you must understand that the Anunnaki were not just one tribe. They were several tribes, okay?
Okay.
And specifically, they are a collection of races from Orion, the star Betelgeuse, and the star system of Sirius.
Okay.
Sirius, okay? Now, within that, there are different groups and different evolutions. Now, in the Sumerian texts, they clearly talk about the relationship between two very specific branches within the family. The half-brother Enki and the heir to the royal line of Anu, Enlil.
Okay.
Clearly, they approached humanity in very different ways. One would be considered very benevolent, and that would be Enki and his offspring. And then there would be those who were relatively ruthless and treated us as if we were a natural resource, and that would be that of Enlil and Anu. Clearly, they taught us horticulture and farming. They also taught us some of the sciences. Clearly, the Sumerian texts discuss our solar system, and we have records from the Sumerians describing our solar system from the outside in. So clearly, that came from an outside source.
Okay.
Now, each of those families and family members, regardless of their technological level, were evolving as well, some more than others. And, the old saying, as above, so below, has never been more prevalent than that. Now, you talk about the Egyptians. The Egyptians tend to lean more towards the Enki side of the family, okay?
Okay.
Especially in their gods. Where the Hindu basically talk about both sides, even though they had different names.
Yeah, sure.
Okay? The Mayans, I believe, tend to lean more towards Enki side of the family than the Anu side. But again, they had a different language.
Yeah.
But now let's go back to the language issue in itself. I have been told that at one time all of humanity spoke one language. But then it was this decision of Anu to separate the cultures of Earth and to teach them different languages so that they would be more manageable, controllable.
Yeah.
Okay? To me, that's not an enlightened perspective. They did that on purpose to make us easier to control. Mornay and Phaseus both have said that prejudice, it was an extraterrestrial perspective that had been taught to us. This perspective had been taught to us by the same group of the Anunnaki.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So, not that we have 100% of all the history, because a lot of it's been hidden from us, but clearly it was a dysfunctional hierarchy.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is that it was anything but a united front. And then you have Enlil, who was responsible for the biblical flood of Noah, who simply chose to drown humanity because we made too much noise. Okay?
So,
imagine what he would do to us today. Because we do a lot more than make noise now,
okay.
So there were clearly issues, and I think in one respect we could be extremely grateful for the things that we had been taught, the knowledge that we had been given at that point, as far as farming and horticulture, engineering, astronomy. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can be thankful for.
Yeah.
But there are also some things that we were taught that I really felt we should have discarded and threw away thousands of years ago.
Yeah.
But for some reason, we have held on to it, or it's persisted, such as warfare, religions, and the such. Those are things we should have discarded a long time ago.
Okay.
So are all of the Anunnaki dark and evil? No, they're not. Again, ultimately, when you're talking about all the extraterrestrial races, there are things that we can learn from them. But at the same time, it's also necessary for us to be open to the lessons.
Yeah, sure.
To also be able to stand on our own and make those choices ourselves. Can we use this? Can we use it benevolently? And can we be responsible with it? Whether it's a philosophy or a technology.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And that's the key thing here, is being responsible ourselves for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we adopt it and use it, we are responsible for the creation of what becomes of it.
Exactly, yes.
Okay? And that's important. When I go back to the question that I asked Morne and Visayas at one point, what's to become of us? And they said to become totally responsible and free to unconditionally be responsible for ourselves without being coerced to accept some higher authority.
Yeah.
And that's the ultimate lesson here.
Mm-hmm.
We can't continue to blame others for things that we choose to focus on and create in our reality.
Yes, that's right.
So, okay.
Actually,
number two.
I have a little question inside of it.
Okay, speak into the phone.
Yeah, it's a point of view that some kind of group, I don't actually remember what group was it. I don't remember if it was from Sirius or Pleiadians that I read in some book that said that they actually didn't. They have not give us the knowledge, or all the knowledge and all the wisdom that we need to evolve, because they see in us that we are not responsible for that kind of knowledge, because that kind of knowledge takes a bigger responsibility from us. And there's a position that they got to know, to say, to don't say anything else until they see in us a change in our consciousness, to take a responsibility when we actually know that we can create a reality that we want. And they say in that text, I think it was a book from Barbara Hanklow, that says that they didn't tell us the knowledge to how to create reality, because they won't help us when we know how does it work. I don't know what is your opinion about this point of view of that Pleiadian group.
Well, I've been bitterly attacked for some of the things that I have shared from the A's regarding our history with the Pleiadians. And I want to be on the record as saying is that all these different races have different subgroups and subcultures within them that are not all necessarily evolving at the same pace.
Okay.
Are all the Pleiadians benevolent? No, they're not. Are they all malevolent? No, they're not. Are some very indifferent to what occurs here on Earth? Yes, some could care less. And some are concerned and have some empathy towards us. And then there are other groups who would actually do whatever they could to just, for whatever their own personal reasons are, and have a difficult time. And, again, these are just philosophies and maybe humanity just reflects back to them some part of themselves that they don't like and don't want to deal with. Because we're all kind of mirrors for each other.
Yeah.
And, the same can be said for the A's and other groups. There are small pockets of groups there that do some very questionable things. But it's all about evolving.
Yeah, I know.
Now, getting back to the question of they've not given us all of the knowledge or the wisdom, I would have to agree with that, because there are some things that I've asked Morne Faceus, or Faceus when he was alive, that they said we weren't ready for. So therefore they weren't answered. However, I have no doubt that the collective consciousness of humanity has the ability to tap into this knowledge and this wisdom when we most need it, and that we wouldn't necessarily have to get it from any particular group or race, that we have the ability to tap into the consciousness which we know as God and get this knowledge and this wisdom for ourselves.
Yeah.
I believe that. I truly do. However, that would take humanity to have to do some introspection.
Yeah.
To be able to step out of our day-to-day stresses of surviving, our day-to-day stresses of worrying about the safety of our children and being able to feed our own families, to pay our rents, to pay our mortgages, to pay the electric bill, to do all those things, so that we could just focus on just being really, really quiet within ourselves and saying, what do I really want? What makes my heart move?
Yeah.
Am I really, truly living my passion for life? Am I doing, is my job what I really want to be doing with my life? Those kind of things.
Yeah, I know.
Most people don't even bother to stop and ask themselves those questions. And then, years later from now, they're very angry, and they look at their life and say, my God, I just wasted it, and many people who have a lot of material things get to that place because they have all the toys, and they realize they're not happy.
Yeah.
And that's because it wasn't about the toys at all.
Exactly.
Now it's about nurturing the soul and knowing what the soul wants. And, only me, I, you, your girlfriend, Audra, we can only answer that question ourselves.
Yeah, I know that.
You can't go to a psychic and have them tell you.
Yeah.
No, you can't throw the tarot cards, and the tarot cards are going to tell you that kind of information.
No,
they don't know.
Actually, they won't.
Or the runes, or the chicken bones, or whatever. Chicken bones, or whatever.
Okay. Well, if you want, I read the next question.
The next question is...
I read it for you.
Okay.
Okay. As humans, we must have sexual relationships in order to reproduce the species. There are a lot of confusion regarding sexual activities. As we know, we have been manipulated by religions and different ways of thinking related to this matter. There is something called Tantra, also known as sacred sex, that states that sexual activities cannot be seen as a sinful practice. Did the Andromedans tell you something related to sex, in terms that it is incorrect to have sex with someone without the purpose of procreate human being and just do it for pleasure? What is your opinion on this?
Well, I can only share their perspective.
Okay.
Based on their culture. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They're incredibly beautiful people, beautiful beings. But from their perspective, they do not have It is just something that has been bred into their culture, or they as a culture have decided to do. And that is that when it's time to procreate and they want to create another life, that they do this. They do not do it for pleasure like we do.
Okay.
I know that there are other cultures, spacefaring cultures, that enjoy it for pleasure as well as procreation.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a sin. It's not evil. There really isn't a judgment, or there really shouldn't be a judgment to it, I believe, at all. It's a personal choice, I would think. But some cultures do it, and there's no stigma to it whatsoever. And then there's other cultures that have chosen not to do it, like the A's. And I don't know that it's judged or there's any stigma attached to their choices either.
Sure.
It's simply a choice.
Okay. That's good. I think that's good. Well, the next question will be, there is a Hope legend that talks about a blue star appearing just a little time before at the end of the times. Did the Andromedans tell you something about this?
No. They've never really discussed the blue kachina with me specifically, nor have I actually asked that question. But I do want to, you put here before the end of times. I do want to stress something here. And, 2012 is not the end of the world.
Okay, yeah.
It just isn't. I mean, essentially, what's going to be happening is that we are going to be passing the galactic plane, where there is a very hard and a very difficult gravitational field.
Okay.
That is not to say there won't be Earth changes. That is not to say that between now and, say, 2015, 2017, we could not experience a pole shift, a physical rotation of the Earth, 17 to 21 degrees, that will change all of the shorelines around the world, and many will perish. But it is not the end of the world.
Yeah, I
have survived other pole shifts. Okay?
Yes, that's good.
So, the world isn't going to end. I just, that needs to be clarified.
Yeah, I put that question in that way because it's almost a lot of people that it's on this kind of themes refers to the end of times in this way. I mean, I actually know that there is no end of the world at all. I just put that question in that way just to perhaps my I know how do I say this? Perhaps the word wasn't correct at all, but I understand what are you talking, and I actually share the same opinion about that. Okay, well, the next question will be.
Hold on. Let me just address something else with that, if I may.
Okay, sure.
If humanity decided to do something different, and it isn't that we'd all have to agree on exactly what happens, but if we decided we wanted something different, we didn't want a pole shift, we wanted something else to happen, we have the ability to make miracles happen.
Yes.
Because it is we who are creating our reality. And if, 3 or more of us gather together with a focused intent, we can literally make that intent become a physicality, a reality. And, this is something that humanity needs to stay focused on. Like the creation of the United States. The creation of the United States was the result of so many people in Europe being so sick and tired of being slaves, of living under an oligarchy, of being slaves to the bankers. That's why America was created.
Yeah.
And many other countries were formed essentially with the intent of that original model, of being done with the Spaniards. And as far as our future, it's not written yet. We can create that. But what's happening is that we are allowing the press, the media, the governments to dictate to us what they think it should be. And they've got it all wrong. You know, their whole purpose, their whole intention is not for the benefit of humanity per se. I mean, some might be benevolent, but I mean, here in the United States, you cannot tell me that Wall Street is in the Federal Reserve and FEMA and many of the other agencies, their sole intent is for the benefit of all of humanity. It's not. It is to maintain control and power over everyone. And their models that they've established and created no longer work. Okay? But they are not spiritually evolved enough to say, you know what, this no longer works. We need to let it go. They're not in that space, you know? And that's where the conflict is going to be when humanity begins to push back and say, we're done. This does not work for us any longer, and your needs are not more important than ours.
Exactly, yes.
And that's where the conflict's going to come, and that's always where the conflict comes. But it's a huge leap in consciousness and in self-responsibility for humanity when we reach those places.
Sure.
You know, and we're coming to that place again very, very soon.
And
okay.
Yeah. And I think that it's going to be a worldwide event.
It has to be, yes.
Yeah.
In order to be real and lasting, it has to be a global.
Yeah. Actually, I think about something that a lot of conspiracy theorists know as New World Order. And here I really want your opinion regarding this, because some people like Alex Jones he's putting information on the internet in a way that I think that I think that he's just making people become more crazy than they were. I mean, Alex Jones and other people talking about New World Order, they are showing a scheme very, very ugly to us. And they say that New World Order will come in the next few years if we don't do anything. Actually, I agree in some point to that statement, but not at all, because I think that, and this is something that I really want to know, does the New World Order is right now being working, or it is or it needs a next step to be deployed to the planet? I mean, they refer to the New World Order as something that we really will become a slave species. And how do you see this? How do you see this term, the New World Order? What is your opinion about the conspiracy people that are talking the New World Order, but they don't send a good message to the people. They are just stressing them, because they just are showing the bad scenario that is going to be that is going to be happening in the next few years.
Okay, well, here's my take on it. Was that the end of your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my take on it. Since the days of the Roman Empire, 13 families basically ruled all the shipping and commerce and banking of the old Roman Empire. Those 13 families, in fact, still exist today. The 13 rulers families of the world tell the Committee of 300 what to do. The Committee of 300 tell the governments what to do. So the New World Order is actually the Old World Order. The only difference is that they are now trying to drop or eliminate essentially the sovereignty of nations to create one global government so that it's easier to manage.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I myself am not diametrically opposed to a global government.
Mm-hmm.
If that government was run or had a constitution and a Bill of Rights and individual protected liberties, like the United States model has.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm not talking privileges, I'm talking liberties.
Yeah.
You know? And also a check and balance like the American Constitution, the original intent of the Founding Fathers here.
Mm-hmm.
Not that this is a perfect model. There are probably some things that could be done that are better today than what they did, 236 years ago, but, that's what they had to work with then, okay?
Okay.
If it were something like that, I would not be diametrically opposed to it. However, that is not what we have. The people that are talking about, who are presenting it in a conspiratorial message, and I've done this myself in the past, in the very early beginning, they're basing what this government's going to look like based on the past performances of these people. And there absolutely is a genuine concern there.
Yeah.
Okay? Because they appear to be extremely self-serving.
Mm-hmm.
So, who's right, who's wrong, only time will tell. But what's important to note is this. The power is, and always will be with the people, if the people can unite towards a common direction. As long as we allow philosophies, religions, prejudices, and biases to get in the way of what is in the best interest of all of humanity, then they are going to remain in control.
Yeah.
So I don't know that there's an easy fix to this, other than what really needs to happen is that all of the truth has to come out.
Yeah.
So that we know exactly what's been going on and who's been doing it.
Yeah. Alex?
Once that occurs, we will be able to make better choices and decisions about our future once we know more about our past.
Okay. Alex, okay, that's good. Well, the next question will be from the list. It's a lot of people is talking about the coming of Nibiru. Some theories state that Nibiru is a spacecraft fulfilled with reptilians. Others state that Nibiru will collide with the air in 2012 or 2013. In a past interview made by Craig Camelot, Bob Dean talked about Nibiru. He said that it is a reality and it's very probably that it collides with Earth or something like that. Did the Andromedans tell you something related to Nibiru?
It's not going to collide with the Earth. It is real. They're not all reptilian, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it does create problems when it passes through our solar system. But it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah.
And we have an awful lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that many of the Nibiruans have evolved in this 3,600 years that they have,
yeah.
Been away from us.
Yeah, sure.
I would hope that they have, and at some, and that they have been talking with other
Sure.
So I have actually, great hopes that we're going to be able to, evolve. That we're going to be able to reach our potential with mentoring, and we do need some mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to, and I truly believe that's going to occur. I think at this point the issue, and actually Visayas and Mornay had mentioned this, that the big dilemma is how do they help us and intervene and mentor us at the same time that we take full responsibility for ourselves.
Sure.
Just giving us technology isn't going to work because we've shown that we can be incredibly destructive with technology.
Yeah.
I think the trick here is how do we give them this knowledge and this wisdom and make them responsible for their own evolution and truly understand what that means.
Yeah.
What that responsibility means and entails. Decisions to not withhold love, decisions to cure hunger, to cure homelessness, to put the resources of the earth to truly benefit humanity as opposed to putting wealth first.
Mm-hmm.
Those are steps in evolution and in consciousness that we need to make in order to be able to be responsible with some of this technology and knowledge and wisdom they want to give us. But we have to embrace that first.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I know that. Because you cannot handle such kind of technology without a higher consciousness, I think.
Well, with anything new, there comes more responsibilities.
Yeah, we just need to look what we have done with the technology that the Greys gave to the U.S. and all other governments, I think. Just
exactly.
Yeah.
They've been playing with stuff for 40, going on 50 years now that we don't know much about, and we know that free energy exists. We know that there have been others who have created very specific technology that would have given humanity a lot more freedom, and these men disappear, they're murdered mysteriously.
Mm-hmm.
All of this stuff, and it's pause to look at it and say, again, it's because the consciousness is that of wealth and control, and that model doesn't work any longer.
Yeah.
But those that are yielding it simply aren't willing to give up that power.
Mm-hmm.
And so there will more than likely be some type of a confrontation where it's going to have to be wrestled away from them, as opposed to them allowing change to occur where that knowledge, that technology, that ability to use this technology is passed in a very responsible way to humanity. It's called the law of consistency. That's what the A's call it.
Yeah.
Law of consistency, where this knowledge is passed on in technology to generation after generation, so that each generation evolves more than the one before it.
Mm-hmm.
And it becomes smarter. And we're doing just the opposite. Each of our generations are getting dumber and dumber and dumber and further behind.
Yeah.
That can only end badly for us.
Yeah, yes. You're right. You're right with that. Oof. Well, the next questions, the next couple of questions are regarding the Galactic Federation. I just want to take, I think, the most important of them, and this is because.
Well, before we go there, let us just deal with question number 6 of Jupiter becoming a star.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now I've heard all the rumors regarding Cassini and the other satellites that we have out there that have huge nuclear payloads, and that they're going to be taken and flown into the opening at the poles and allowed to explode.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos said it's not going to be allowed to occur.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, if Jupiter does anything, it'll be because it's supposed to, and it's its own evolution, and it's coming in from another dimension. It is not going to be something that they're going to let a bunch of knuckleheads ignite when they don't have any idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, if they were to do something that irresponsible, and let us just say that Jupiter were to explode as a planet, okay, or as a gaseous planet, etc., it would probably destroy the entire solar system. So it wouldn't matter whether it was the sun or not, right? We'd all be dead.
Okay.
Well, they're not going to do anything like that because, there's other life in this solar system that isn't us.
Yeah, sure.
And they're not going to let them do something that stupid. Okay?
Okay.
So, as they would say in the South, that dog don't hunt. It ain't going to be allowed to happen. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the next question.
Wanted to address that.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the clearance here. In ancient cultures, as Mayan, it is said that there is a new sun that is rising up to replace the current one. Do these have something to do with the other sun of our solar system that you mentioned sometime? What's the exact position of this second sun in our solar system that you talk about?
Okay, I'm not aware of any sun replacing the current one.
Okay, yeah.
The only way that I could wrap what I know around that particular question would be if they were taking us off Earth and bringing us to another solar system where there is an O2 atmosphere, an E-type ecological system, which is a very complicated system and very fragile, and which are not the norm, in fact. That would be the only way that I could say, well, there would be a new sun. But I don't see that actually happening, and there's never really been any discussion of them actually taking us off Earth and moving us to someplace else. Now, if we don't blow ourselves up and we reach our full potential, we will become a spacefaring civilization like all the others.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yep.
In which case, a very large population is what you would need in order to colonize other star systems. Okay? So, that would be the only way that I could see that occurring, is if we, achieve our potential in the next 50, 75, 100 something years, and, our children's children go out to explore space and colonize other worlds.
Yeah.
And as far as a second sun, they refer to Nibiru as being or planet X as being a dormant sun. That's never actually been addressed with me. And they have said that there is a smaller sun, a much smaller sun, behind the one that we have now, which we don't see.
Yeah. Actually, there are a couple of pictures on internet, and there's also a videotape on internet. And I've seen it personally here in Mexico sometime with some friends. While the sun is just fading away, there's a smaller sphere besides of him. A very, very small sphere, like another sun, and I saw it, and my friends saw it, and I saw pictures on internet and a video that showed the same thing. Is that the other sun that the Ace told you about?
Yes.
and because it's really amazing. Yeah, it's very 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 awesome. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know if you have the opportunity to look to the when the sun is fading away, and sometimes, not always, not all the days, and I don't know if this. Actually, I think that it has to be with the rotation and the translation of the Earth around the sun. But a couple of times, I and friends of mine saw this phenomenon, and it's incredible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. And there's more to that conversation when maybe we can sit down and talk with each other personally about.
Yeah, and I think that it will be the next year. I
hope so.
Okay. Well, the next questions as I told you, are regarding to the Galactic Federation and Sheldon Idol, and and other people that are talking about this.
Okay, I'll read the question. Sheldon Idol is the one who claims to be a contactee of the Galactic Federation. He has also stated something related to the Andromedan race, but it's a very different description that you provide of your Andromedan contacts. I guess he's talking about a different Andromedan race from a different star system. What do you know about it? I don't share a lot of the same perspectives with Sheldon Idol.
I know.
The A's have never referred to any type of galactic federation. Mm-hmm. They've only referred to the Andromedan Council. Now, I know that there are other political groups out there, and I absolutely don't have a problem with there could be some other things out there. And as far as his description of the A's, I don't have any idea who he's referring to, because those that are from the constellation of Andromeda I know pretty well, and I just, their craft are not sombrero type. I don't know, quite frankly, who the hell he's talking about.
Okay.
So there you go. I mean, that's the answer, and it's a short one.
Okay, yeah. That's fine.
And as far as is he a contactee or not, I honestly do not know. That would be something he would have to address himself.
Yeah, I know that. And I think that you have answered the 9 and 10 question here. And the next one is important to me, because there are a lot of people talking about someone who called himself as Ashtar Sharan. And I will read the question. Ashtar Sharan has become a kind of celebrity in the New Age community. Someone told me that this Ashtar Sharan is a reptilian entity who stole a spacecraft thousands of years ago. And he also took a place and a character which does not belong to him. This will bring Ashtar Sharan as an impostor, and the Galactic Federation fans have been cheated all this time. Did the Andromedans tell you something related to this ET figure? I mean, Ashtar Sharan.
Okay, my response to this question is that Billy Myers, I guess they call themselves Plagiarans now. They used to be called Pleiadians, but they changed their name too.
Okay, yeah.
But that's different because it's them, I guess, the information that they gave Billy Meyer, Mr. Meyer, regarding Giza intelligence and Ashtar, the A's have said very much the same things, that this group has been malevolent, and they have meddled quite a bit in humanity's development, and have had a profound negative influence on humanity. Mm-hmm. And, they have consistently tried to portray themselves as saviors of Earth and of humanity. And, the A's have been very, very specific, and I think other cultures have as well, because I don't know all of the knowledge that's out there from many of the other contactees from, all over the world, including South America, where there have been so many, that we need to be our own saviors.
Yeah, I know.
And not depend on anybody else. Now, there may be times where there are things that are specifically out of our control where we can ask for assistance, but it isn't something where we need to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, the information that I've been given is pretty much everything that falls in line with what the Pleiadians told Billy Meyer about the Giza intelligence.
Okay.
They basically were a bunch of morons who came in, started to play God, started believing all their own press, and have made gods of themselves, and continue at this point to portray themselves in this way for self-aggrandizement and glorification.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
A bunch of knuckleheads.
Yeah. And actually, I don't know if you are aware of the information that this Astar Sharon is sending to his contactees, and it's very, I don't know, this I think that I told you before something related to the grandma, the Mayan grandma that is a kind of a teacher to me. She's someone who she was the person that told me this specifically thing regarding Astar Sheram, that he's a reptilian, and he's just wearing a kind of makeup to be very beautiful, but he's a reptilian inside.
It's a hologram.
It's a hologram, yes.
It's a hologram, yes.
So you are agree with that comment?
Yes, I would. I wouldn't say, I know that some of his team or squad is human, or have human tendencies. They're not all reptilian, but they're all of the same mindset. And that mindset is that humanity is to be exploited as a natural resource.
Yeah.
Because we're unevolved.
Yeah, sure.
So,
it's awful.
But Carlos, and I would say this to you, and I would say this to everyone, when you listen to information, you need to pay attention to your gut.
Mm-hmm.
Because, your inner knowingness, your soul knows what is and what isn't. And, that's the test, and ultimately everyone needs to go there, and they're going to need to develop that part of themselves. Now, women are far ahead of us men in that respect.
Yeah.
But men need to develop that quality within themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, and many of us are working hard at that.
Yeah, I know.
So.
Okay, well, I think that you have also answered the 12th question, is that was regarding to the Giza intelligence. So we are.
Well, there's one more here that I would love to address, if that's all right with you.
Well, okay, come on.
And that's the one regarding President Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of stuff. And I think for me the jury's still out on as to who he really is. But let me just say this. And this is something that I do have some knowledge about. And that is that I really truly believe that the very last real president the United States of America had was John Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone else after that has had degrees of control placed on them and manipulation. Now I want to and I'm just going to pick Barack Obama at this point. I think he would love to come in and make all the changes that he could, but he's not really in control. He's not in charge. And I know that that's the perception of most Americans and many people outside the world, is that, he's the president and he's in control, but he's not. I want you to know that the President of the United States, President Barack Obama, his level of security is at a level 28. That means that there are 27 levels of classification, top secret classifications above him.
Yeah.
Okay? That clearly says that there is a secret government.
Mm-hmm.
There is those who have control to knowledge and information that he doesn't have because his security clearance isn't high enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You understand that?
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. So there is someone pulling his strings, and I don't want to necessarily say he's a puppet, but there is some truth to that perspective.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, that needs to be kept in perspective here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
And I tried to be as diplomatic and as careful about saying that as possible.
Okay, understand. And a few days ago, and this is something that I mentioned to Audra in an email that I sent her, I just watched the conference that you gave in the school from JC night.
Oh, back in 1996.
Yeah. And
God, I can't believe somebody found that. I was just blown away. I'm like, my God.
Okay.
I mean,
Well,
we have the originals, and they're in a box in the garage, I haven't looked at in years and years and years and years and years.
Okay, well, there was I don't know if you want to talk about this. I think that you didn't mention anything at that time because of the troubles that you were passing by. When you mentioned John Kennedy, you asked for cut the record. And there's a lot of people that asked me that please ask to Alex what is the information regarding the Kennedy president. And I said, well, I will ask him, but I don't know if he is going to answer this question. Because
let me just say this, because since we are on the telephone and we probably have, people listening.
Yeah, actually I know that.
Oswald didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to know that an hour before his plane landed, the motorcade route was changed. And there's no way that Oswald had that ability.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, yeah. I can have